Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Don Puno, and I will be your host. It's our pleasure to welcome you to our 7th industry panel discussion on insider tips on pharma forwarding, brought to you by RW Solutions. RW Solutions is headquartered in Hong Kong and currently has 9 freight forwarding networks that are into industry niches. RW networks are very much focused on handling capabilities of forwarders from pharma, perishables, NVOCC, and FCL to geographic interests like Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America. By having specialized groups, members engage in more meaningful business exchanges with more qualified networking across their various brands. At present, we have over 1,000 members from 100 companies or countries under the RW umbrella. All of our panel speakers for today are coming from various RW networks. Today's program will last about 1 hour. At this time, we would like to open up the microphone to our audience to get to know all of you a little bit better so that our speakers can understand who their audience is. In this segment, you'll be called out, so please unmute yourself and introduce yourself by mentioning which company and country you are from, what time it is where you are, and why you're excited to be part of this panel discussion. All right, so let's go ahead and go around right now. Can you introduce yourself? Let's see. How about Howard? Howard, are you there? Okay, I don't think Howard can hear us right now. Let's go ahead and move along to Kinanti. Kinanti, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, where are you joining us from today?
So I'm joining from Indonesia, and I'm from PC Gateway Container Line Indonesia. Yeah, and now it's 3 p.m.
3 p.m. where you are. Okay, cool. And what are you hoping to learn today?
Yeah, since we're talking about pharma logistics, right? I'm really excited on knowing on how the technicalities and also what's the hurdles and what can we learn to maximize this opportunity that we have. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear from the panelists later.
Awesome. Well, great to have you here today. All right, moving on to the crowd. Let's see who else we have here. Michelle from Dolphin Sea Air, are you there? Michelle, are you there from Dolphin Sea Air? Yes, hello. Okay, we'll go ahead and move along right now. How about Stephen Alves? Are you there, Stephen?
I am. Hi, everybody. I'm the director of Life Logistics. So I just wanted to join in and watch the panel. I'm dialing in from Los Angeles, California, where it's currently just after 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, joining us early in the morning. Thanks for joining us today at such a late hour.
Certainly.
And what are you hoping to learn today?
Well, as the director of Life Logistics, I always like to see what our members are doing with they're the experts in handling the shipments, and I really want to listen to them and hear more about how they're doing the operation side of what we do as a network.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, everybody. So we'll go ahead and get to know our speakers for today now. So again, please forgive me if I mispronounce your names, but here are our speakers for today. Stefan Haltmeier, he is the CEO of QCS Quick Cargo Service from Germany. He is one of the members of the Life Logistics Network, Global Air Cargo Alliance, and the Freight Summit. Next, we have Lucy Maia, Healthcare Industry Manager of DMS Logistics from Brazil, and is a member of the Life Logistics Network. And lastly, we have Sumit Argawal, Director of Rail Logistics from India. He is also a Life Logistics Network and the Freight Summit member. All right, so today our main topic is insider tips on pharma forwarding. But before we proceed, may I request you switch into the side-by-side speaker screen? We have prepared 4 questions for this topic, but let me start with the first one, which is simply, could you give us a short introduction about your company and business activity in pharma forwarding? So we'll start with you, Stefan. If you could unmute your microphone, Stefan. Thank you.
Okay. Now, better now?
Yep.
All right. So good morning from sunny Frankfurt, Germany. Hope everybody is fine, and good evening, good morning. Hi, Stephen. I know it's very, very early for you. good that we have you here in the panelists in the meeting as well. So yes, just a few words about what are we doing in pharma freight in Quick Cargo Service. First of all, yes, Quick Cargo Service is a German company. We are actually based in Germany with our head office, but also have offices throughout Europe, in Denmark, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Poland, but also now new offices in Slovenia, Hungary, and Romania. So we do cover a big part of Europe. Of course, we started off on general cargo in Quick Cargo Service, but meanwhile, we are also very strong in niche markets such as pharmaceuticals on the one side, but also a lot of time-definite business, predominantly in the aviation business. So we believe in verticals, and of course, the pharma is one of the stronger verticals we're in. It does take a lot of emphasis, of course, to build an image, and I think that's important for all of us in the network, that we understand the pharma business. So for us, we have regular pharmaceutical transports. We have 3 people in Frankfurt who are GDP licensed. We try to control the pharma business from our control tower here in Frankfurt, even though we have 12 offices throughout Germany. But we try to streamline all the sales leads, information, requests, rates, and things centralized in Frankfurt. And so we work on medical supplies, not only clinical trials. We're doing vaccines partly. We do a lot of business for Siemens Medical, Merck, Procter & Gamble, and others. And pharmaceuticals doesn't always mean temperature controlled. A lot of the business is also general cargo for hospitals, supplies, furniture, things like this, what we also do. So we also see that as part of our business. So yeah, pharma is meanwhile is in our DNA, and it's a good niche, I think, to be in, and where not everybody can not every freight forwarder can service. So yeah, that's from my side.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Lucy, can you tell us a little bit about your experience in pharma forwarding and your business?
Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. For me, it's good morning, right? Here is 5 a.m. in Brazil. I'm head of pharma and healthcare industry here at DMS Brazil. DMS has offices in Brazil. Our head office is here, and we have offices in Miami, United States, with a GDP warehouse. We count on temperature controlled areas with 228, 20 degrees and minus 20 degrees. We have other branch in Chile as well. And in my background, I worked in a pharmaceutical company here in Brazil for a long time. And I accepted the challenge to develop the industry, the vertical pharma here at DMS in 2019. And since then, we are in most of the important pharmaceutical companies here. We are in 60% of the biggest pharmaceutical companies here in Brazil, the most important pharmaceutical companies here, and industry of beauty and hygiene as well. Last year, GMS was responsible for bringing the Oxford vaccines from India to Brazil, and we were responsible to send the Sputnik vaccines from Brazil to Russia to tests of evaluation, tests of stability, and etc. Is a big our big business is pharma nowadays, followed by aerospace and food and beverage and agribusiness as well. And so one important thing is that in the last 2 years, DMS was recognized most reliable freight forwarder provider for pharmaceutical industries in Brazil. This is a very important award here because this is this award is given to Union of Pharmaceutical companies here. We have union named Sindus Pharma, okay, that recognize the good job, the excellence in quality of our services. This is very important for us. So just that, oh, my responsible here at DMS is transmit for our customers and for our co-workers the importance of quality of validation and qualification about forwarders, about roads, about products. And I do a very technical, very technical supplier here for our customers and our co-workers. I think this is that.
All right. Thank you, Lucy. All right. Moving right along. Sumit, can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening as well to fellow panelists as well as the members who are joining here for the Life Logistics Insider Tip on the pharmaceutical forwarding market. I'm Sumit Agrawal. I'm one of the director of the company, Rail Logistics Private Limited. We are based out of India, and we have recently completed 25 years of our successful operations with our team of more than 150 people across India. From day one, our management has been interested in doing something different. So apart from just doing the day-to-day general cargo business, we have been specially working on 3 or 4 verticals in our company, one of which is pharmaceuticals, another is chemicals, which is the biggest portion that we do is hazardous chemicals in that chemical division. Then we have engineering goods. In engineering goods as well, we do time critical auto parts, we do aviation management business, we do aircraft engines as well. We have been doing odd dimension cargo by air freight, which is one of our very specific specialty. Then we have been also involved in doing a lot of live animals in last 6 to 7 years. And that has been a very amazing business as well. It's a very different business than what we have been doing otherwise. And one more business that we have been doing for the last 10 years, which is again very specific business, is for broadcast equipment management for a lot of industries wherein they have been used either for sports events or for commercial events or any other events. So this is what we have been doing. So our focus has always been on doing something different. So pharma in the last 10 years in India has really found its a stronghold in the global market, and that's where the specialty has further been increasing every day. So apart from the general cargo of the pharma segment, the temperature control business of pharma, the temperature control along with the hazardous component of the pharma, these becomes very peculiar businesses that needs a very high attention to detail and a lot of requirement, not only from your side, but if it is an import shipment or maybe an export door delivery shipment from your partner side as well. So from last 10 years or so, we have been able to develop those capabilities based on our experiences and our strength, as well as our partner experience and strength. To add to it, recently in last 1 year, we started domestic logistics in India, and that too for a very specific and very special project of the government of India, wherein we are delivering radioactive pharmaceuticals products across India within a timeline of 48 hours. Knowing the geography of India, knowing the challenges that we as logistic companies come across every now and then, we still meet and complete our job from pickup till delivery within 48 hours across India. So that has been one of a feather in the hat for us, because none of the biggest of the logistic companies could really attend to the requirements of this particular project, and we were there. And thanks to our team, thanks to the knowledge that we share and gain every day from our fellow members across the globe in the industry, as well as the airlines and the customers, they have been really helpful to us. And coming back to the variety of businesses that we do, we have been doing recently a lot of charters for across the globe, I would say, to places where others are not able to move in. We have been moving quite a good charters nowadays for pharma, which is one part. Another part is for agrochemicals, which is one of the very interesting business for us from last 20 years or 25 years. So that's it. That's what Royal Logistics is, and we look forward to have a very healthy discussion with the fellow panelists as well as the members who are here. So good luck to everyone, and let's see how it goes.
All right. Thank you so much, Sumit. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our second question for today. We'll go ladies first on this one. So this one's we'll start with Lucy. What do pharma companies look for when working with pharma forwarders?
Okay, I'm sure that pharmaceutical companies are looking for safety and reliability, because sometimes we need to have excellent services, okay, and keep a guarantee the safety of this operation. I'm sure that every time when I offer our services, our customers have the expectation that the cargo arrives at final destination safety and with the best services of aircraft, of third parties, and the deadlines that our customers need must be attended, okay? And in this case, it's very important that we have an excellent network of suppliers, and we need to have good relationships with air companies, with sea companies, ocean companies, and with our partners, because sometimes we need to change different ways to make the logistics, the international logistics, mainly in this moment that we have a lot of problems in Asia, for example. And as you know, Brazil is mostly an importer country of APIs and medicines in general. And India, China are the biggest suppliers of this material for here. And sometimes we need to find different ways to do this international logistics with quality and safety for our customers. And I would like to comment with you that our partners in India and China and Europe as well are very, very important for us, because DMS don't have own offices in these locations. So change experience and to know what exactly you can offer for us to create a good relationship, to create good ways to provide our services is excellent for us here in Brazil. And one important thing that I think that you know as well, in Brazil we have very specific rules, very specific regulatory rules to import. So I used to say that Brazil is not for amateurs. Brazil is not for beginners, right? So we need to keep a good communication with our partners to understand these particularities of our country.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, you're definitely not an amateur, Lucy. All right, we'll move right along to Stefan. What do pharma companies look for when working with pharma forwarders? If you could turn your mic back on as well, Stefan.
Okay, here we go. I think Lucy brought it on the spot. I mean, a lot of true things she said just now, and I think it's I can only repeat and only confirm what she said. Of course, rates, space, that goes without saying. I mean, that's what people expect, and I think pharma is the product that is not always looking for the cheap transportation. So I think that's a good thing about the pharma transportation. Of course, the customers would like to see that we know what we're doing. Good GDP terms, of course, that people are educated and that we have a good we know what we're doing in the pharma business. Of course, they're also looking for temperature control and tracing, that all these things are in place, and that the forwarder who's handling their business also has the facilities, and at least, if not, has the contacts to cool chain and transportation if it comes to temperature controlled business. A lot of the big pharma companies go out for tender, and it is very often that they also work with big multinational freight forwarding companies because they think that they are in better hands having a worldwide network of one of the same company. And I think that's where we come in place in Life Logistics, because our customers would like to see that we also have a worldwide net of experienced people, meaning that if we move our cargo to India, to Brazil, to places like that, that I can use people like Lucy, who exactly knows how to handle a pharmaceutical shipment, exactly knows how the cool chain has to be kept, and customs clearance procedures are in a speedy way. I mean, that's what makes us differentiate, I think, being part of Life Logistics, because we have a network of experienced companies around the world, similar as multinationals, and that helps us in sales to the pharma industry, because we are the appointed agent, let's say, for Germany, and I think that's a big something big important for us to have in order to succeed in this in the pharmaceutical market. So other than that, I think I can just, as I said, confirm what Lucy mentioned.
All right, got it. Okay, lastly, Sumit.
More or less, both the legends of the industry have already covered quite a few of the points, or majority of the points. So yes, it is very true that the safety of the cargo, the commitment of traveling your cargo, the way they have been expecting you to handle it, goes on topmost priority. Yes, it is also true that costing is not always the primary criteria of discussion or for handling the shipment. So it is all about the service, which is the primary motto. Now, when it comes to specific or further more points to be added to it, the subject knowledge of handling pharmaceutical product is very, very important. Now, today, when Lucy also mentioned that she knows the subject in and out, and she tries to make a point that she is, doing a post-mortem, I would say literally, of while handling a shipment, that what are the technical requirements of handling a shipment which has to be addressed. Now, that is something, a lot of forwarders tend to miss out. So that is something that it's very critical in today's time, that apart from just handling a pharma shipment on a day-to-day basis, you have to have a technical approach while handling the shipment. Even if you have a shipment which is moving from your country to the other country only from airport to airport or maybe port to port basis, but you must address the shipment on airport to door or maybe door to door basis, because your responsibility may be ending while landing the shipment to the destination country, but you have to also ensure that that onward journey is also being going secure by the way you have handled the business at your end. So that is something which adds to your sales pitch or to your services when you offer to the customer. Now, apart from that, it also is necessary in today's time that how much services you are able to offer to your customer. It could be a freight forwarding service that the customer is seeking from you. It could be a transportation service, which could be a general transport or a temperature control transport, equally warehousing services, but also allied services like creating availability for packaging solutions as and when required immediately, the thermal blanket requirements, the data loggers requirement. So these are something which has become a day-to-day requirement for the customers, even though they do take care of it to a great extent, but they do expect the partners who are there, who are assisting them in their logistics, to be available as and when the needs are arising out of it. One more point that what Stephen has rightly pointed out, that when we go to the bigger accounts, so they prefer or they feel like the MNC companies are better placed to really handle their businesses on a global level. However, for companies like us who are having their regional presence in different parts of the globe, it is very necessary to have the global reach as well. Now, I know Stefan or Lucy are very capable enough to beat, maybe the MNCs for bidding a tender out of Germany or maybe out of Brazil. Similarly, we have been consistently outperforming the MNCs while going for businesses out of India. So when we join hands together, our global reach goes to a different scale altogether, and we are able to perform many times even better. So a global reach for a freight forwarder's ability also is very key crucial point for any pharma company to really consider to you in today's time. And one more point which I would like to add to it is that how your systems and operations are being experienced by the customer. When I say this, it also means that how you are able to communicate to the customer about the existing status of the shipment, what kind of do's and don'ts, or what kind of flag points that you have, or the the communication that we are sharing, and by which manner we are sharing. Do you have some kind of customer relationship management through maybe an IT system, or through maybe a periodic updation systems? So these all transparency that you are able to transfer to the customer adds a lot of confidence while the customer deals with you for their critical pharma shipments. So overall, yes, you have to be good in the subject for sure. You need to have your licenses in place to know and practice the subject every day. You need to have your partners in place who are like-minded with you, who are able to do the job which you need them to do on behalf of your customer. At the same time, yes, it is also necessary in today's time that you have to be as transparent as possible with the customers to share the information that the customers seek or need from time to time. It could be tracking, it could be status of the shipment, it could be any other information that turns out to be critical for any of the customer. So yes, a pharma company does not really look only for a freight forwarder, they look for a wholesome solution that you can offer to them.
All right, thank you, Sumit. All right, let's go to our third question now, and this might be different from country to country, but what industry accreditations are the most important when dealing with pharma forwarders? We'll start with you, Stefan. And if you could please unmute your microphone, thank you.
Sorry, always the same problem. Yeah, I think the known accreditation obviously are the good distribution practice, the GDP. I think that's what we should all have, particularly in the group, in the network. And I think this would be also important, I think, for the members to identify who are accredited by GDP. Of course, the IATA has the Pharma accreditation, but I don't, as a forwarder, see that is that necessary for us. That's something I think for airports and the airlines. But I think the most important accreditations are references from our customers. If we have a story to tell, if we work for pharma industries, I think to show who we work for, what we do, what's our business. I think that's what makes customers feel comfortable that they're in good hands with someone who is expert. I think an accreditation could also be being part of the life logistics. I mean, being part of this group and this network, being accredited by the group, being the appointed agent. And I think the other thing, what is very important for us, is also to build an image. I think because a lot of us are freight forwarding companies, and freight forwarding doesn't always feel like it reflects to the specialists, you know. And I think to build an image and even maybe a spin-off of the company, and it's very important that you highlight that you are really concentrating on pharma, and that you are specialized, that you have gone through training processes locally in your country, and just point out your quality, that where you differentiate from the other freight forwarding companies. So I think that's what is the main accreditations that we should point out in this.
Thank you, Stefan. Okay, how about you, Lucy? What do you think?
I agree with Stefan. GDP is important, but it's only to show to our customers, right? When they need request us a certification, we show the certification of GDP. But every time in all of our operations, we need to prove that in fact we work in accordance with the GP procedures, right? And show during the operations, show our commitment with this good practices is most important than to have the a paper mentioning this certification as well. And CIV Pharma of IATA is interesting, but not for freight forwarders. I agree with Stefan at this point. And the importers here in Brazil, for example, they don't do valuation, don't give value for this kind of certification. In our processes, we need to show them that in the origins we have pictures, we have good prices of storage. We need to prove, we need to send the monitoring of our warehouses, monitoring of our temperature controlled areas. And if our partners have this kind of documentation, this kind of proof of good practice, is enough. And I believe that in local countries, maybe you could have a local certifications as well that could be able, that could be interesting to prove to customers your quality of operations. Here in Brazil, we have some certifications that are offered by Anvisa, that is our regulation agency here in Brazil for pharmaceutical industry. I think that GDP is the first step, but we need to prove that good prices are done in our day-by-day operations. I think that.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so Sumit, how about you?
Again, yes, GDP is the primary most known certification which is required nowadays to handle the pharma businesses. But just to add to it, what Lucy is saying is very true, that you just cannot have a paper certificate. You need to live the certificate every day. You have to prove yourself that yes, what certificate you have gained, you are practicing it every day, and that is visible only by performing your task with minimum to minimum variations or deviations. So that is one part of it. Another part which I would like to add when it comes to pharmaceuticals specifically is something that people tend to miss out on. One critical point furthermore is that the custom clearance, because as Lucy said, Brazil is an importing country, and it's not a game for amateurs. The same applies to India as well. When it comes to the customs part, it's not for amateurs at all. So, if you have a custom broking license in-house, or if you have the capability of doing it the right way, and that to add it on with an AEO certification, which is authorized economic operator, so that further eases out your hassles while moving out the critical shipments that is there in the pipeline, because you might be having the best of the space availability, you might be having the best of the connections to move something from place A to place B. But if it gets stuck in the customs, then you're gone. All the efforts have gone in drain. So if you have a good team in place, which is also taking care of export or import driven customs part as well, that eases out, that also helps you to do your end-to-end solutions more smoothly. So a custom broking license or an AEO license furthermore adds to your capabilities while performing the operations. So that's something which I would like to add on it. And one point which I had mentioned earlier regarding the packaging solutions availability. So if you have certified packaging or GDP, which covers basically GDP terms, I would say, but certified packaging, the warehousing, the transportation, whenever you need, if those are within your capabilities, then yes, you are very sellable and you are very attractive freight forwarder to a company.
Got it. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our last question for the day. How does Life Logistics Network support your business specifically? We'll start with you, Stefan.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. We can hear you.
All right. Okay. Obviously, I mean, Life Logistics, how does it support our business? First of all, I have to say that you don't join Life Logistics to gain business automatically. It's not that you buy into something and you get triple in return. I think we all have to live the network. We all have to, it's a give and take in our industry. And I think it's very, very important that we use life logistics as a selling tool. I mean, that's, for instance, what we do in Germany is when we approach a customer, and very often we have to talk to customers who are working with multinational big companies. And I think life logistics gives, as I mentioned before, confidence that we have a worldwide network of agents who are experienced in handling business. And as Sumit said, yes, of course, we need on the receiving side good experience in customs clearance and how shipments are handled. That we have also on the receiving side people who know, who have the facilities and food chain trucks and things that are important in life in pharmaceutical transportation. And all this is given in life logistics because we are accredited, we are measured when we enter into the group, and it is also important that we are all in the pharma business, and we're not just trying to get business out of it. It's also that we are living the pharma business. So for us, life logistics is very important. Obviously, Quick Cargo, Germany, we are in Germany in a market which is very strong export orientated. So that means that, yes, we do get also business from members who appoint Quick Cargo, us in Germany, to move cargo to overseas. And it's also that we, of course, see that we gain business through the network. And I think the important part is that we develop business mutually, that we exchange sales leads, that we are active, and that we are just not sit there and wait for things to happen. We all of us who are here, we have to exchange information and live the pharma business and to grow it. So life logistics supports us a lot in every direction, on business, on sales, and I think it was fantastic that we could all meet and greet again in Dubai and come together and exchange our ideas. And then I felt that it was such a positive vibe in the group that people were so happy to meet again. And I think that's where we develop the business. And I think that's what the network is about, is developing the business while we are at home. And obviously, once we meet in face-to-face, of course, and these meetings are fantastic and well organized. Thank you also for Niels and Christian for the good organization. That's what all makes the difference, and that's what helps us to grow our business. So yes, life logistics is important for us.
All right, thank you, Stefan. Okay, Lucy, what do you think about the Life Logistics Network?
No, life logistics is very important to us, to DMS, and to the other partners, other members, I believe, because here we have opportunities to change, to change our experience. And the most important thing is that I believe that the other members of Life Logistics are willing to develop their processes, focuses on the customer, focuses on the good practices, and our colleagues here every time try to develop new solutions and learn more and more how to offer best services to our customers and to our partners, because here we have a relationship, a B2B relationship, right? So we need to support each other. And I believe in this relationship to grow our business together. And one important thing is that Life Logistics has an excellent coverage all over the world. In the main countries that we have pharmaceutical flow of goods, we have a member of Life Logistics to support us. And this point is very important.
Okay, thank you, Lucy. And lastly, let's hear from Sumit.
The first and foremost benefit or the importance I could make out while joining Life Logistics was that 90% of our business is exports from India, which is controlled by us. And when I joined Life Logistics, we could really cater to the pharmaceutical segment for door deliveries across the globe quite handsomely. So that was an immediate benefit that I could really derive out of it. because the kind of members who are there presently in life logistics are all like-minded people. It's not that people just wish to go for pharmaceutical business. They just want to enter that segment of business. These people at the moment are capable, they are experienced, and they know the subject very well. So it really helped me immediately while joining and while experiencing the exchange with partners for the business. Having said that, one more point that really added, and which is, I would say, continuously adding value to us, is that the exchange of stories, as the term that Stefan used, that when you exchange the stories of how you are handling your business, what kind of experiences you had while handling your businesses, because pharmaceutical is a different ballgame altogether in each and every country. Every country have different requirements, they have different standards, they have different expectations. So when we come across, when we meet our partners across the globe, we learn every day that something new is happening in some part of the world, which might be a case that we need to address to, or which we need to really upgrade ourselves, maybe to live up to that kind of expectation in the future. So that is something that it is really pushing us to learn and upgrade every day with our fellow members. And last but not the least, I think what has really given us is that a sense of confidence while approaching bigger clients, because now we are more than capable and more than confident of challenging maybe the MNCs across the globe who are trying to check the biggest of the chunk of handling the business on global levels. So when I know I have a partner like BMS in Brazil, when I know I have a partner like QCS in Europe, I know that yes, I can pitch in for the biggest of the clients who may be requiring services in those regions. So the selling point for us has been really great. And the life logistic is something so unique that people really don't have, I would say that people are more interested to really know that how you, being a member of life logistics, are able to add value to our logistics. So that is something which gives us a topic to discuss with the customers, spend extra 15 to 30 minutes with them, and try to then understand what kind of association we can gain with them. So life logistics has been very important. It has been very unique experience and a very learning experience for all of us.
All right. Thank you, Sumit. And I do believe that'll do it for today. Lucy, Stefan, and Sumit, thank you very much for your contribution to RW Solutions' 7th panel discussion. We really appreciate you making the time, and we would like to thank everyone who has attended today's panel discussion. Please be advised that our next panel discussion is scheduled for August 10, 2022, and our next topic will be challenges and opportunities for freight forwarders in Africa. I hope that you guys had a great time. Thank you once again for attending. If you do have the chance, please do visit our RW website where all our networks are showcased. You might be interested to be joining one of our networks moving forward, where we promote partnership networking amongst freight forwarders. We also have left you a poll. If you could take 2 minutes to fill it up, it'll be very helpful for us to improve our panel discussions in the future. Once again, my name is Don Puno, your host for today, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And